Hey everybody, this is Steve, and today I'm here to talk to you about Hockey Blast from Play.com. It was originally published in 2009, it's for 1 or 2 players, and the game's going to take you about an hour to play through. Now, the 2 driving forces behind the engine in this game are the qualities listed on the player's card, which determines the possession, and the star ratings, which determines the strength of the shots when they go off. And instead of recreating every pass and shot and line change that goes on in a normal hockey game, this instead gives you a highlight of each minute of play in the period. So what do I think about this game? Does it light the lamp or does it get sent to the penalty box? Well, let's take a look inside the box, see what's in it, go through a sample of play, and then I'll give you my final thoughts after further review. So here's a quick overview of everything that comes inside the box. You get the game action book, there's 3 score sheets, a frequently asked questions sheet, a card with a couple of optional charts on it, 2 sets of cards that are strategy cards used in the advanced version of the game. There's 3 different colored markers, 2 dice, and then it comes with a set of generic players, and then 2 teams representing the 2012 Stanley Cup final between Los Angeles and New Jersey. So here's a look at some of the player cards. Now each of the forwards and defensemen is going to be rated on potentially 6 different qualities. The better players will have more qualities, which will lead to their team gaining the possession more often. They're also rated on their shots and assist skills, where the better players will have more stars, then the weaker players will have less, none, or even the scissor symbol, indicating that they'll actually hurt their team's chances of scoring when they're on the ice. They also have various symbols that'll detail how good they are at setting up plays, setting up power plays, killing the power plays, or getting rebounds. The goalies have 3 different save ratings. They don't have any qualities. And these are how good they are against getting regular saves, rebound shots, and grabbing a spectacular save that will give their team momentum and deny the other team a score. We'll take a look at the game book now. We'll show you how all this comes together in a sample play. So here's where you're going to be spending most of the time during the game, and that's the normal minutes chart of the game book. This details everything that's going to happen when there's a 5-on-5 on the ice. Of course, you start with a face-off to see who gets the puck, and then on the left-hand side is what happens during that particular minute of play. There might be a fight that breaks out, there might be a penalty called, or there might be a lull where nothing happens and then you skip ahead a couple minutes of play. If a team does manage to get a scoring opportunity, you'll go to the play chart, and that's going to tell you which skaters are involved in the shot. And then you'll go to the goalie save chart to see if it actually goes in or if the goalie is able to make a save. So we'll go back out to the ice. We'll go through a few minutes of play between Los Angeles and New Jersey and show you how it all comes together. So we'll start at center ice with a face-off between the 2 centers. The roll is a 6. We go to the face-off chart, which tells us that the visitors win, so New Jersey gets the puck first. The roll on the minutes table is a 7, which means there is a lull. So there's no action for the first 3 minutes. We'll mark off a lull on the score sheet. And then we go back to center ice for another face-off. This time the roll is an 8, looking at the face-off chart. And this time Los Angeles will win possession. And so we'll go to the minutes chart. This time it's a roll of a 6, which means it's a zoom between the player at the 4 white circle and the 2 black circle. So it's Tallender against Gagne. And we roll a second single die, which means it's a 1, so we're going to look at the skill quality for both players. Now, in this case, both Tallender and Gagne have the skill quality, so we go to the tiebreaker, which first is momentum, and neither team has momentum, so the second tiebreaker is the home team. So Los Angeles is the home team, they win the check, and so they'll get a playoff since they had possession of the puck. We go over to the play chart and roll the 2 dice, and it's an 8, which says 2, 1, and 3. So that means that the offensive players at the 2 and 1 will contribute their assist rating to the shot, and the player at number 3 will be taking the shot. So Gagne has an assist of 1. Brown has an assist with 2 stars, but only one of them is solid. And this is where momentum comes into play. The hollow stars
come into effect when a team has momentum and then they become solid stars. So that if Los Angeles had momentum right now, then Brown would have 2 for an assist rating. But they do not have momentum, so it'll just be a 1. And then those assist ratings are going to be combined with the shot rating of Kopitar, which is a 2, and again, if he had momentum, it would be a 3. We add those together for a total of 4, which is going to be the power rating of the shot. So now we roll the 2 dice again to see if the shot goes in. So the roll is a black 4 and a white 3. You're going to compare the black die to the power rating of the shot, and it needs to be equal to or less than the power rating for the shot to be on net. So in this case, the 4 means that the shot was on net, and then we're going to compare the white die against the play save rating of the goalie. And for the shot to get past the goalie, it needs to be higher than his play save. So in this case, Brodeur has a save rating of 3, and the white die is a 3, so it does not get past him, and Brodeur makes the save. You'll also see that if New Jersey had momentum, that Brodeur's play save rating would be 4 instead of 3. So when the goalie makes a save, you go to the goalie save chart, and you don't re-roll the dice. You read them as they were for the shot. So in this case, it's a 7, and that means that the goalie smothers it and then freezes the puck. You change the lines, move to the next minute, and have another face-off. Now, for example, let's say that the white die was a 4. In this case, that would mean that it was over the play save rating of the goalie, remembering that New Jersey does not have momentum, but if they did have momentum, then Brodeur would have still made the save. But it gets past them, so we go to the goal chart. Again, you do not re-roll the dice from the play shot, you just simply add them together. And in this case, on an 8, it's a one-timer to Kopitar. He shoots, he scores! Goal! Los Angeles goes up 1-0.
And the last thing I wanted to show you is actually the one thing that I consider a downside to the game, and that's when the line changes take effect. This is going to happen after a goal is scored or after there's a change in possession. And what you have to do is go through each line and put the player that's on top of the pile and move them to the bottom. And once you get used to it, it's not as time consuming, but it will add some playtime to your game. And so what I've done as an alternative is I just went to a Staples and bought business card holders, and then you chop them up, and so you can put your whole front line in one sleeve, and then when it comes time to change lines, you just simply move that to the bottom of the pile. There are some other alternatives. You can print out 3 other game boards and then have all 4 of your lines laid out at once. Either way you do it, you'll find whatever works for you, but that's just the one real downside to the game engine, is how the line changes work. Now, the best thing that I can say about this game is that before I picked it up, back in 2009 when it originally came out, is that I wasn't actually a very big hockey fan. However, that did not stop me from enjoying the game, and you don't need to know a lot about professional hockey to really enjoy this game. In fact, there's a very good fictional set that's available to pick up so that you can create your own league if that's something you're interested in. However, if you are an NHL fan, you're going to be very impressed with the way that the players perform on your tabletop. All the way from the sharpshooters down to the enforcers, they're going to play pretty much the way you would expect them to. The game's very easy to set up, and once you get used to the line changes, the game plays out very quickly. So if you have even a passing interest in playing hockey on your tabletop, I suggest you head on over to play.com, pick up a copy, and then light the lamp yourself. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name's Steve, and I'll see you next time after further review.